50 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:08.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Thank you for joining me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Tons of good information about films, music, and fun around Wisconsin in these next 2 hours together. At 7:05 in the studio, director Mai Wang and Sip and Purr owner Katie McHugh are going to be here to talk about 25 Cats from Qatar. It's a new documentary screening at the Milwaukee Film Festival. And we'll also get an update on the Sip and Purr new location. Remember, it used to be right around the corner from the Oriental Theater, right there at the entrance of Black Cat Alley. And a lot of us have been anxiously awaiting the reopening of the new location on Brady Street, which, as I understand, just reopened. So we'll get an update on that. And we might even have Ambassador Cat Nero in the studio. So if we do, I'll make sure I mention and remind you to text the word watch to the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. You can text the word watch anyway, 855-616-1620, because we'll have some fun in the studio. It's one more way that you can get your What's on Tap fix if you want to put it on the screen in the background or watch and play along. And also in the studio at 7:35, music fans, the Whammy Awards are on Sunday, Wisconsin Area Music Industry, and celebrates so much fine talent we have here. Keep in mind, there are about 80 different categories nominated, from instruments, the best musicians on particular instruments, to even venues and to bands of all kinds of genres, from metal to country to bluegrass, you name it. So it's going to be a lot of fun to welcome Whammy board members Jesse Greenwald and Patrick Nettesheim to find out what is going on Sunday and who is being inducted into the Whammy Hall of Fame. And you're invited to join them Sunday at the Deco at West Allis to be surrounded by some of Wisconsin's finest musical talent. So I'm looking forward to that conversation at 7:35. Make the most of your Wisconsin weekend. Lots of entertainment and event options this first weekend of May. I'm going to share with you where you can find local Derby Day celebrations and other weekend events around the state. And the song you need to hear is a tribute to a musician who was full of positivity, energy, and candidly, strength to call out a song title. Mike Peters, singer and songwriter of The Alarm, passed away on Tuesday. He had battled cancer for 30 years. That's 3 decades. So a strong man, full of optimism and tenacity. And The Alarm was a staple on a lot of college radio stations in the 80s. And the band continued to tour even as recently as a couple years ago. So I will share with you one of my very favorite songs by Mike Peters, and it's a rare find these days. So that's just before 7 o'clock at about 6:50. And the song I chose, I really think, is an example of his personality and his talent. And that is coming up on What's on Tap. What's coming up for you this weekend? An event, a celebration? Maybe you're just looking forward to getting some spring cleaning done, because I looked at the forecast. I know we had rain today, but looks like sunshine and very springy this weekend. Check in with me on the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. If you have a whole lot of nothing going on, I have options to share with you next. But safe to call if it is safe to call or text where you are. Go ahead, connect on the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Wishing a big break a leg to a variety of performers on Wisconsin stages. That's next on What's on Tap.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Hey there, I'm Sandy Maxx at WTMJ, here to tell you about incredible career opportunities with my friends at 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman. 3 Pillars rated the top senior living community in Wisconsin again, 3 years in a row from U.S. News and World Report. It's also a certified great place to work. They're hiring caregivers within their assisted living and memory care communities. Full and part-time day or evening shifts starting at $20 per hour. You could get more based on experience and on shifts. The best part, you'll make a difference in the lives of others every day at Three Pillars. Go to threepillars.org and click the Careers tab to learn more.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
If you missed this,
can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my reportorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Drakamp Heating.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
The world's greatest showman. That's music just gets me pumped up. And it gets me pumped up to wish break a leg to a lot of fine performers who are going to be bold enough to step on stage on Wisconsin stages this weekend. And I'm excited to wish my very first break a leg. Dun, dun, dun. Let me make sure I get it here. Oh, yeah. Break a leg to the Milwaukee Community Orchestra. Their spring concert is Saturday, and Star Wars music is some of the music that will be featured. Yes, 160 local musicians on stage playing the instruments that they love all together. Star Wars, Sound of Music, Finlandia, also the Milwaukee Community Orchestra Concert Chorale using their voices as instruments. So you will hear that cinematic music of Star Wars because it's Saturday, May 3rd. I will say on May the 4th Eve. So why not celebrate Star Wars Day just an evening early? But Baumage's Origins is on the program as well. Ooh. Be surrounded by sound. Dvorak. And also, they'll be closing the spring concert with Rainbow Body, a more modern composition that is very exciting. It was fun to have the Milwaukee Community Orchestra in on What's on Tap. If you want to catch up on that podcast, I highly recommend it. It's a fun conversation. And the MCO spring concert is at 7:30 at Homestead High School. And because they embrace community so much, you can even watch the free live stream if you can't get to Homestead High School Saturday night. MKEORCH.org if you want more information on Saturday night's spring concert. I also have a break a leg to everybody in the Dog Man the Musical. It is one weekend only at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Dog Man the Musical follows the chronicles of Dog Man, head of a dog, body of a policeman, fights crime, chews on furniture. But trying to be a good boy, can he save the city from villains in the form of cyborg fish and a mean cat? It's all created by the same person who created Captain Underpants. And it's one weekend only, Saturday and Sunday. Dog Man the Musical at the Marcus Performing Arts Center, Eline Hall. And another break a leg, happy opening weekend to the cast and crew of First Stage Theater. Esperanza Rising at the Todd Ware Theater at Marcus Performing Arts Center. And it was another fun conversation I got to have with Michelle Larico of First Stage. Catch up on that podcast. She shares all about, it's a special story, Esperanza Rising, and it was a novel by Pam Munoz Ryan, and it's set in the 1930s, and it follows Esperanza, a wealthy Mexican girl whose life gets completely upended, and she and her mom have to flee to California. So it traces what it's like to learn the different experiences of migrants. And it's a mom and daughter journey, Lots of music. It opens this weekend through May 18th, and maybe a good Mother's Day outing next weekend. Esperanza Rising, First Stage Theater at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. And break a leg to the cast and crew of The Grand Hotel, the musical. It's at the Sunset Playhouse in Elm Grove, and this is another kind of going back in time. 1928, the opulent world of Berlin. Guests living in a luxurious hotel. Romance, intrigue, ambition, and supposed to have a rich score and really fun choreography and a captivating blend of comedy and drama in the glamorous era of the 1920s. That is now through May 11th, the Grand Hotel, the musical at Sunset Playhouse in Elm Grove. And also want to wish break a leg to the cast and crew of a show that I got to see in Milwaukee last month. Break a leg to the cast and crew of A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical.
It's a beautiful noise.
I gotta tell you, it has a great set of music. And you might forget just how many songs Neil Diamond has written, and you'll be singing along. Great costumes, great choreography, and it's told from the position of Neil Diamond visiting his therapist in his older years, and as he's sharing his memories and experiences, younger Neil Diamond is on stage and telling those stories. It was a really good time, and the crowd loved it at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. You can see it now through Sunday in Appleton at the Fox Cities Performing Arts Center. Neil Diamond, A Beautiful Noise, Neil Diamond, the musical. And also wishing break a leg to the smaller cast, just 2 people, and crew of the last 5 years at the Milwaukee Rep. Now through May 18th at the Stackner Cabaret, and we had one of the stars, Grace Bobber, who grew up in the Mequon area. She was here visiting us on What's on Tap, so you can catch up on that podcast because it really is a uniquely told story. The last 5 years, it's a romantic couple, but they tell the story. One couple is going back in time and one couple is going in the forward in time, and they meet in the middle. It's very unique and beautiful music. And Asher Muldoon and Grace Bobber, they play their own music on piano and guitar. So not just beautiful singing voices and acting, but that true musicianship. So the last 5 years at the Milwaukee Rep Stackner Cabaret downtown, you can see that through May 18th. And, you know, I was talking about Dogman the Musical. I get to wish break a leg to a different dog show. Break a leg to the cast and crew of Top Dog Underdog. It is a play at Milwaukee Chamber Theater, and this is another one of those shows where I feel like it just opened, but it's only through next weekend, May 11th. But this is going to be good. It's down in 3rd Ward at the Broadway Theater Center Studio Theater. DeMonte Henning is one of our just absolute Milwaukee treasures on stage. He's a director, he's a creative force, but he's great on stage as well. So he and Anthony Fleming III portray Lincoln and Booth, 2 brothers entangled in a tense dynamic of rivalry and longing. It is getting rave reviews. It's a Pulitzer Prize winning play known for sharp dialogue, real emotional depth, and also dark humor. So Top Dog Underdog, if that sounds interesting to you, it is showing at the Milwaukee Chamber Theater now through next weekend, May 11th. And also want to say break a leg to the cast and crew at Next Act Theater of Circle Mirror Transformation. Reese Madigan and Tammy Workington, 2 of the 5 cast members, visited me, was it just earlier this week? I feel like this week has flown by. It's already May 1st. It's Thursday. But yeah, just a couple days ago, it was delightful to have them both in the studio because they are both renowned actors here locally, Reese and Tammy, and to have them together on stage with Elise Edelman and the other actors for Circle Mirror Transformation. That it is about acting teacher who teaches for like an adult acting class. And instead of a big, bright, booming musical that I've been going to lately, it is a quieter play that really uses the pauses of the dialogue to draw you in. And there's also comedy in that. So it's been rave reviews again, but it's an interesting exploration of human connection and good dialogue. So Circle Mirror Transformation, Next Act Theater through May 18th. That's what's on stage. Just a sampling. If I tempted you and you're like, none of those sound great, don't worry. Just sniff around. You can find some great theater in our area. And A Run for the Roses is in Louisville every Saturday, the first Saturday in May. Over 100 years of that tradition. Where you could celebrate this tradition of the Kentucky Derby in Wisconsin, I'll share those details next on What's on Tap.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Maxx at WTMJ, inviting you to WTMJ Day. It sounds like it's dedicated to us. No, it is dedicated to you, WTMJ fans, and come celebrate with us at a private tailgate at a Milwaukee Brewers game, Saturday, May 17th. Food and drinks, hanging out with some of your favorite WTMJ hosts. And, of course, after the tailgate, we go inside, watch the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at American Family Field. Info, tickets, you'll find them at this website, WTMJday.com. Tickets will go fast, so sign up today. Love to see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th, sponsored by Woodman's.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Sound. Call to the post to the Kentucky Derby, the first Saturday in May for over 100 years, and it warms my heart. I'm Sandy Maxx. I grew up in Louisville. I only left Louisville to come to Marquette, and then Milwaukee hasn't gotten rid of me very much since then. But this is just one of those weeks where I just get absolutely homesick because, as much as we embrace our festivals here in Milwaukee, in Louisville, boy, I mean, the whole city just centers on, I guess it kind of reminds me of the NFL draft, all that attention where the eyes of the sports world are on one city. So the most exciting 2 minutes in sports is coming up on Saturday. And one Wisconsin connection, Simone Biles, the Olympic gymnast, married to a Packer. She's going to perform the ceremonial Riders Up call at the Derby, where the jockeys mount their horses. She'll be there in the paddock area. So that's something to watch for. But if you really want to embrace the horse racing, the hats, the high heels, you have several choices. And one of the, and sip on a mint julep as well. Maxx's always does a great job. It's their 18th annual Derby Day party. It's also a fundraiser for Hunger Task Force, and it will be Saturday afternoon. They've got jazz music. They've got and I approve of this, some food that you want to eat, Benedictine sandwiches, which is a Louisville touch, but the real Louisville touch, they're going to be serving Kentucky hot browns. It's turkey, bacon, tomato, Mornay sauce, and Swiss cheese. Oh, yeah. And they've got costume contests. They have contests in different categories for best dressed, elegant hat, creative hat. So that's a fun time at Maxx's on Fairview Avenue and 67th. St. Kate is also hosting a party at their bar. It is absolutely free. You can watch the live broadcast. They also have Derby-inspired bites and signature cocktails, of course, the mint julep. And they have best dressed and hat contests. And they will have Frogwater playing bluegrass tunes in the bar at St. Kate. And another one to tell you about, Iron Horse. They have their annual Talk Derby to Me celebration. Saturday, it starts at 2, and they will, of course, be watching the race live. They have DJ Corbell. If you want to smoke a cigar, they've got that station for you outside, and they have contests as well. So that's a lot of fun. And those are just 3 celebrations. Visit Milwaukee.org. If you go to their website and just type in the word Derby, you'll see there are also celebrations. East Troy Railroad, a party in Greendale, other Milwaukee hotels, and fun spots to watch the Kentucky Derby. So visit Milwaukee.org, search the word Derby. And there are lots of other events this weekend in Wisconsin. I have recommendations, and I welcome yours on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Weekend options are next on What's on Tap. But again, that number, if you have your own weekend options, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. First now, we get the latest headlines. Go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Sean Brinda.
Thanks, Sandy. Filing a lawsuit over funding cuts to AmeriCorps. Wisconsin is one of 24 states suing the Trump administration over an end to grant funding for volunteer service programs. AmeriCorps programs in Wisconsin include tutoring, conservation, library services, and support for homeless youth. The cuts could end services at over 300 sites across the state. And Kohl's fires its new CEO, Ashley Buchanan, with cause. Buchanan is accused of violating company policies by directing the company to, quote, engage in vendor transactions that involved undisclosed conflicts of interest. Kohl's has appointed Michael Bender as interim CEO. That's effective immediately. Buchanan served in the CEO position for just 4 months. And 2 people are dead, including a 17-year-old, after a crash overnight in Milwaukee during a police pursuit. The fleeing driver led police on a chase, ending in a crash with an uninvolved car near Green Bay and Hauser on the city's north side. A 17-year-old and an unidentified person in the first car died at a hospital. 3 people in the second car were treated on scene. The driver of the fleeing car is now in custody. Take a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We've got one incident out on the road at I-94 West, 1.3 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin, Route 100. Left shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Other than that, roads are starting to clear up across southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy with some drizzle possible with a low of 43 degrees. Friday's going to be mostly cloudy with some slight chance of showers and a high of 53 degrees. Saturday's going to be mostly to partly cloudy with a high of 58 degrees. Sunday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 65 degrees. On Monday's going to be partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers as well with a high of 68 degrees. Right now, in Eau Claire, it's 56 degrees. In Palmyra, it's 52 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 50 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:32.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Here's to time out on the water in Wisconsin, to living your best life while enjoying the lake life, and getting up on a wakeboard the very first try. Or not. Here's to wearing only swimsuits and wishing this perfect day would never end. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
CertaPro Painters, transform my house. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's absolutely beautiful. The pros came out to our house, sat down with my wife Michelle and me, weren't sure what color we wanted. They were able to walk us through specific colors for our house and for our neighborhood. That's just how they roll. For your home or business, it's CertaPro. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Call right now and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. They are quite simply absolutely the best. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Thank you, Milwaukee, for making the original Botanas the best Mexican restaurant for 25 years. Celebrate Botanas anniversary during Cinco de Mayo, May 4th and 5th, with authentic Mexican dishes, cervezas, margaritas, and a mariachi band. 5th Street, just south of National.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to newnordicusa.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
What are the sounds of spring? If you live in Milwaukee, Beer Garden's opening, and one of the best in the city opens on Friday, which is tomorrow. All weekend, the Estabrook Beer Garden is celebrating their official opening, and you'll feel like you're in Germany. They're going to have daily keg tappings Friday, tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Tapping that keg, and it is going to be open for an hour of tasty free beer to really officially christen the Estabrook Beer Garden this year. And they're going to be tapping a keg every day. Saturday at noon, they're tapping the Brow Buddies keg, and they're going to run it till the barrel runs dry. And if you heard on What's on Tap, it was on National Beer Day on April 7th. We were talking about Brow Buddies. Lakefront Brewery partnered with Hofbrauhaus in Munich, and the two brewmasters met in Munich. They created this special blend called Brow Buddies that you can get. And I sampled it. It is delicious. It's I would say a Pilsner, but it's a golden color. It's lovely. But if you haven't had Brow Buddies yet, this is your chance. Saturday at noon. And then also Sunday at noon, tap in the keg for Happy Place at Estabrook Beer Garden. There will be Stein holding contests. I always think feats of strength are entertaining. And live music all weekend long, including the Squeezettes. On Sunday, they play polka music, and they also play what I would call polka-tinged pop music. So check out the Estabrook Beer Garden Facebook page. They are going to have full details. And of course, if that gets you in the mood to go to Germany, I'm going in September. You can join me. I'll email you the brochure, sandy@WTMJ.com. Come with me on the European brewery tour in Germany, Austria, and Czech Republic. Sandy@WTMJ.com. SANDY@WTMJ.com. Other events to consider hanging out and having fun. Tomorrow in downtown Racine is the Creative Crawl. It is an absolute celebration in the city of art, creativity, and community. All kinds of locations in downtown Racine are either hosting music performances or art making and art demonstrations, and you can get an arts passport and get it checked off and win prizes. For example, at the Racine Art Museum, where you expect there to be art, there are going to be art making stations and a live DJ at Hotel Verdant. The Racine Symphony Orchestra is going to be in the hotel all throughout with live music performances as you stroll and roam around. Hot Shop Glass has a live glass blowing demo. There's a live cello performance at Photographic Design Gallery and Framing. There's even kite art at the Artist Gallery, and at Uncorked there will be watercolor painting. So check that out. I think that is a great idea. Thank you, Racine, for celebrating creativity in such a fun way. Friday's Creative Crawl in downtown Racine. And of course, it's free. You just get to roam and stroll. Another fun opening, another sign of spring. Old World Wisconsin's spring season opening is Saturday. And this is, old style. Think those high-wheeled bicycles and other fun things like spring plantings, maybe baby chicks, activities for the whole family. If you haven't been to Old World Wisconsin in Eagle, it is huge, and it is a 600-acre living history attraction. And Milwaukee Magazine's Best of the Burbs was a first-place winner in the attraction category. And I feel like Old World Wisconsin is one of those places maybe you go as a school kid, but you don't go back as an adult. This is a fun experience, like I said, for you and the whole family. Officially opening on Saturday. There is even goat yoga returning and other workshops where you can hone your skills from bygone eras. Waukesha County's gem of the countryside, Old World, Wisconsin, spring season opening on May the 3rd. And if you're in that mood for springtime, how about the Festival of Flowers? That is happening Saturday at the Milwaukee Public Market, which is just a great excuse to stroll and shop all the other wonderful vendors and foods that are inside the Milwaukee Public Market downtown, which is also, I think, USA Today, the #1 public market in the country, or at least top 5. But it's going to be a great afternoon. Saturday from 11 to 3. Lots and lots of flowers, as you can imagine. There's going to be a flower market and arrangements, but there's also live music, and it is free. So check it out. It's a good excuse to stroll through the Milwaukee Public Market on Saturday. And also, if you love flowers, a reminder that the Pabst Mansion, this is that special weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Floral Reflections Ikebana at the Pabst Mansion, which is a great fusion of this Japanese tradition of elegant floral arranging inside the German history of the Pabst Mansion. And it's tomorrow during the day and Saturday and Sunday. And then also tomorrow evening, they're opening the museum. Well, it is a museum because there's a lot of art in there, but they're opening the mansion even later, and you can get your sights of the flowers, the sounds of a koto, which is the national instrument of Japan, performed by a wonderful musician in one of the beautiful parlor rooms. So you can hear the sounds, and then there's also sake to taste. So Ikebana Floral Reflections at the Pabst Mansion. That is happening tomorrow. Yes, because tomorrow's Friday. This whole May the 1st, and I just feel like this week flew by, and last week was crazy with the draft in Green Bay. Now I just feel like this just flew by as well. I think this could be a harbinger of, I was just doing the countdown. I feel like summer always flies by. I think spring might as well. Today is May 1st. It's a Thursday. Summerfest is 7 weeks away, which sounds like it's a ways away, doesn't it? It's going to be here before we know it. So make the most of every moment that we can this weekend. Also, got a note here that the Wisconsin fishing season opens this weekend. And remember that Saturday is Free Comic Book Day, if that's your thing. And I just want to mention one more thing this weekend. If you see red lights around Waukesha, there's a reason. The city of Waukesha and the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation are honoring and remembering the sacrifice of America's fallen firefighters on Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and our Waukesha Fire Department heroes. And they encourage people to light your home or your business in red lights. So as you're driving around Waukesha, if you see red lights, it is in honor of fallen firefighters. And also the Hone Bridge on Sunday night in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Fire Department and Light the Hone are partnering to honor fallen firefighters. And in particular, there are 2 Wisconsin firefighters that are going to be honored on Sunday. There's going to be a silent moment of prayer and reflection at 8 o'clock. And then the Hone Bridge will be lit in red to honor the fallen. And those 2 Wisconsin firefighters being specifically memorialized are firefighter Doran Jose Kemp II from the Milwaukee Fire Department and active duty engineer paramedic Tyler M. Kreider, Green Bay Metro Fire Department. So if you see red around the city, you will now know why. And we are going to talk about more fun things to do because there's so much. And the song you need to hear is a sweet one. So stay with me here on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have a roofing question, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
Thanks, Tom. Between the two of us, we've seen hundreds of failed roofs, along with the unfortunate consequences of water damage. Poor workmanship, improper product usage, lack of ventilation, inferior flashing detail, and loss of control due to subcontractors are some of the most common reasons for roofs failing. At J&B, our objective is not just to sell another roof. We want to educate our clients. When J&B's experienced sales staff achieves that goal, our roof systems sell themselves.
For a complimentary roof evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Answer the call. Vienna is calling. Let's go together. I am getting so excited. We still have a few spots left to join me in Vienna, Salzburg in Austria, in Munich in Germany, and wrapping up a 10-day European brewery trip in Prague, September 12th through the 22nd. We still have some spots left, but don't get left out. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com, SANDY@WTMJ.com. I will send you the brochure. I will answer any questions. We're going with Steve Bertrand Travel, who takes care of everything. Airfare, accommodations at 4-star hotels, the coach ride to, we'll even go to Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany and see the Alps. It is going to be so fun. And there's just enough of planned visits to different breweries and different landmarks and free time to roam and make your own discoveries in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. Imagine waking up in Vienna, the imperial capital of Austria. History elegance, but there's a real modern vibe there too. I've spent 2014 about 4 days roaming around by myself in Vienna, which was a lot of fun. It'll be a lot more fun with a group though, because you find these historic buildings and beautiful moments, and you're like, well, there's nobody to share it with. So when you travel with me and with other people, we'll have a whole lot of fun. And spotlighting Vienna, delicious breakfast, strolling cobblestone streets, and you see some grand cathedrals. But I really love the amount of arts and culture and, of course, music in Vienna. Beethoven, Mozart, Haydn. And I just found out today that Vienna is celebrating Johann Strauss's 200th birthday. The king of the waltz, the Blue Danube. It's right there on the Danube River, Vienna is. And to celebrate Johann Strauss, how about this? On the day, one of the nights that we are in Vienna, they are celebrating. It's you can see Johann Strauss at the circus. It's called Cagliostro, and it's a unique blend of circus acts and Strauss's melodies in a musical spectacle, a fresh interpretation of Johann Strauss music. There's also House of Strauss, a modern museum dedicated to Johann Strauss. And also we can see Johann Strauss's apartment where he composed this song, The Blue Danube, and other compositions. The real, Vienna is going to be a lot of fun. And we're also going to check out the craft beer scene there. Breweries like Otto Kringer and Bevog, and 1516 is one of the years that some of the brewing started. And Vienna Opera House is absolutely gorgeous. It's as gorgeous as you've heard. Really ornate on the outside, but inside, chandeliers and velvet seats and beautiful architecture inside. And one of the stories I learned in taking the tour of the Royal Opera House still just crushes my soul. The two architects who created the Vienna Opera House were just criticized their entire construction time, and they both died thinking that they made this atrocity, and now it is truly one of the centerpieces of Vienna. So we'll see the Vienna Opera House. We'll see the church right in the center of Vienna, St. Stephen's Cathedral, which is absolutely beautiful with its multi-colored tiled roof. And the fun fact about St. Stephen's Cathedral, because, I love music. Beethoven realized he had gone completely deaf when he saw birds flying out of St. Stephen's Cathedral bell tower, but he couldn't hear the bells ringing. He's like, that means I can't hear. So it is a city filled with stories, with music, with beautiful architecture, and some delicious beer. So come with me and stroll through Vienna. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com, sandy@wtmj.com. Who is someone that you would love to take a memorable trip like this with? Steve Bertrand Travel will take good care of us. sandy@wtmj.com, and explore Vienna with me. And next, the song you need to hear, we remember the front man for The Alarm with a moving tune. Next on What's on Tap.
Hey Milwaukee, it's Josh Albrecht here.
And I'm also Josh Albrecht. Join us every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. on 620 WTMJ for Joshin' Around Milwaukee.
We're diving into the best of what makes this city great. Local events, hidden gems, and of course, everything Milwaukee.
It's your inside look at what's happening around town, places to visit, people to meet, and stories you won't want to miss.
Catch us every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. right here on 620 WTMJ, and find extended episodes and content on visitmilwaukee.org. Let's get Joshin' Around.
Two Joshes are better than one.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like Livingston vegetable and flower seeds, 25% off MSRP, 20% off Longfield spring bulbs, and $3 off select preen weed preventers. Plus, find value on live plants in our outdoor garden centers, now open. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club. where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
It's kind of an interesting dynamic where it's not like he's fighting to keep his job.
Entertainment.
I love that this energy and this incredible talent for singing and acting and dancing is here on stage.
And more.
I gotta have a sausage with me while I'm watching WrestleMania.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ. You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
The Alarm, an inspirational, soulful band from Wales that was on a lot of college radio station playlists in the 1980s. And Mike Peters, passionate frontman of the Welsh rock band The Alarm, passed away just a couple days ago, just 66 years old, and had fought cancer for 30 years. But he left behind a real legacy of anthemic songs and are tenacious. He was known for electrifying, engaging performances and real resilience. He inspired a lot of people. He co-founded the Love, Hope, Strength Foundation and played concerts on top of Mount Everest, at Machu Picchu to promote cancer awareness and stem cell donation as a way to fight the disease. I got the joy of seeing The Alarm in concert a few times, and his passing really was a blow to me the other morning. It was one of those where I didn't expect it was going to get me so emotional. But I dragged out all my albums, 45 CDs of The Alarm and Mike Peters' solo work, and I've been listening to the music he created. I highly recommend you doing the same. Or if you're hearing about The Alarm for the first time, stream them. You'll be glad you did. And I chose a special song to honor Mike Peters for the song you need to hear, Transcendental, a song from a 1998 solo album by Mike Peters. It's called Rise, and it's a prized possession in my CD collection, and it's tough to find. So I share this gem with you as a tribute to singer, songwriter, cancer warrior, Mike Peters, decent and kind human being. Transcendental. It's a song you need to hear on What's on Tap.
All I am
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 51 degrees in Milwaukee. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy with some drizzle possible and a low of 43 degrees. Friday's going to be mostly cloudy with some slight chance of showers and a high of 53 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brenda. 2 people are dead, including a teenager, after a crash Wednesday night in Milwaukee during a police pursuit. The fleeing driver led police on a chase, ending in a crash with an uninvolved car near Green Bay and Hauser on the north side. A 17-year-old and an 18-year-old in the first car died at a hospital. 2 25-year-olds and 1 24-year-old in the second car were treated on scene. The driver of the fleeing car is now in custody. Wall Street Journal is reporting Kohl's CEO was fired over a conflict of interest with a vendor who was a romantic partner.
They knew each other from when they both worked at Walmart several years ago.
Ashley Buchanan was just 4 months on the job as CEO of Kohl's and was looking at a compensation package worth more than $20 million. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reporter Tom Dinkins says word about an ethics report caught everyone by surprise.
It was disclosed to the SEC with a filing that was made. That's how we found out about it.
The company employs 4,000 people just in our area. Interim board chair Michael Bender will serve as a replacement until the top spot is filled once again. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Thousands of marchers take to the streets for May Day. The marchers in downtown Milwaukee were joined by members of Milwaukee's Common Council to participate in, quote, a day without immigrants. Rallies nationwide are expected to focus on workers' and immigrants' rights. And looking beyond lead cleanup, Milwaukee Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says while remediation remains a priority, conversations must be had about the future after cleanups finish.
We have children centered in every decision that we make, and their safety is our top priority. But we have to get to a point of having a conversation with our community about rebuilds.
Caselius has said that the district will continue to pay for all remediation and that taxpayers will not be impacted by any additional costs. From a freeway to a new Milwaukee neighborhood, UW Milwaukee architecture students have the first concept plans for a future without I-794.
Dulce Carreno envisions a district centered around the public market.
I wanted to create like a market incubator system with like street vendors, food trucks, and restaurants. Create like a market district where they could grow at the site.
Shane O'Neill outlines Festival Landing.
Creating a hotel, a new location for the Children's Museum, and all these new residential units, possibly a new school.
Another concept has a mascot, the Third Ward sculpture Rusty the Mastodon, as a face for Mastodon Yards. At the 3rd Street Market Hall, Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 7:04.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Trees on the Move and J&B Construction. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all Sports Desk. The Brewers lose to the White Sox 8-0, but take the series. They head home for a 3-game weekend series with the Cubs starting Friday night. And playoff hockey returns to Milwaukee tonight with the Admirals hosting the Rockford Ice Hogs in Game 1 of the Central Division semifinals. The puck drops at 7 o'clock at Milwaukee Panthers Arena. All right, take a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have no major incidents on the road this time, so it should be a smooth drive tonight. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. That's going to be mostly cloudy with some drizzle possible and a low of 43 degrees. Friday's going to be mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 53 degrees. Saturday's going to be mostly to partly cloudy with a high of 58 degrees. Sunday will be partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 65 degrees. And Monday will be partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 68 degrees. Right now in Madison, it is currently 52 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 44 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 53 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 51 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Welcome to the second hour of What's on Tap, a show all about culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. And I would say that the Milwaukee Film Festival is a celebration of creativity in Wisconsin and around the world with so many different categories of films for 2 weeks. And we're at the halfway point of the Milwaukee Film Festival. There's another whole week of movies at the Downer Theater and at the Oriental Theater. MKEFilm.org is where you can browse the full list of films. I've been posting my daily picks on WTMJ.com and social media too, because when there's over 200 films, it can be tough to choose. So here to help, and I am thrilled to welcome to the WTMJ studio and to What's on Tap subjects or creators of one of the most interesting and I would say, domestic and international documentaries on the list at Milwaukee Film Festival called 25 Cats from Qatar. First, I want to say welcome to the director, the filmmaker, Mai Huang. Mai, how are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to see you. And I have so many questions about the making of a film that takes you truly to Qatar and places beyond and that whole journey. So we'll have fun chatting about that. And I also have from Sip and Purr Cafe, the owner, Katie McHugh. And Katie, who is with you?
I have Nero here from Sip and Purr joining us here in the studio.
Nero, the ambassador cat, a fine-looking gray fellow. How old is Nero?
Nero is 7 years old now.
Aw.
Yes.
He's handsome. I've seen him on your social media on Sip and Purr. And if you want to see him now, you can text the word WATCH, WATCH, to the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. So, how did 25 Cats from Qatar come about, and how do you describe the film when people ask you, hey, what have you just spent several years working on?
Yes. Well, interesting thing is I spent less than 2 years on this. This happened really fast, and it was mostly because of the Milwaukee Film Festival really ignited this, because I had been to the festival for my previous documentary, Cat Daddies. And so I'd been here a couple of times, and I met Katie, and I visited Sip and Purr, and she was kind enough to show me around, and we kept in touch, and I knew about her international work, and we were talking. And just on a whim, I thought, I just asked her, if there's ever a chance, would you want to be in a film? Like, I have no clue how we would fund this or anything, but could we document this? And she was in, and then I found a funder, and then we were just off to the races, because it's just such an incredible, inspiring story. I didn't understand. I couldn't wrap my head around why a woman from Milwaukee is going to the Middle East and rescuing cats pretty much on her own. It's pretty astonishing. So I knew that there's a story here, and this sounds like an adventure, and it was.
And so, Katie, was this... Were you surprised when Mai came to you and said, okay, let's make a film? Or were you hoping maybe as a filmmaker, Mai would think your story was this compelling?
Well, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. I'm happy that we can finally tell the story. We've been helping with international rescue since 2018. So it's really exciting to really tell the whole story in its entirety.
Well, tell the story of Sip and Purr Cafe in the first place, because I think a lot of people will remember it right there at the entrance of Black Cat Alley, right around the corner from the Oriental Theater. So did you open that in 2018?
Yeah, we did. And kind of a funny story. I had the idea for Sip and Purr when I was traveling. I'm also a flight attendant, so kind of puts it all together. But I was in Amsterdam in 2017, sitting in a cafe, and a cat jumped on my lap, and I said, I just want to open a place where people can drink wine and pet cats. and
it's
I
very
did.
relaxing. It's a very sensual experience.
Yep. So that's how the idea of Sip and Purr was born. And then I just made these amazing connections all over the world. And being a flight attendant, I was able to travel to the places where we do help out and see the situation for myself for these cats. And I could not turn my back on the problem. And so that's why I decided to help.
We're going to continue this conversation and dig into why you would go all the way halfway around the world to rescue cats, because a lot of people that I've been telling 25 cats from Qatar about, they're like, well, don't we have cats here? So I know you get those questions. So we will ask those questions and other questions. More with the filmmaker and the Sip and Purr owner, talking about 25 cats from Qatar at the Milwaukee Film Festival. Next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
The deeper the hole, the more damage you're going to cause, especially if you're driving around with low tire pressure.
We're talking about potholes, and if you're not careful, they'll spring up out of nowhere and bite you right in the keister.
We've fixed broken ball joints, broken control arms, blown struts, damaged wheel alignments.
You name it, we've fixed it. That wheel alignment is an adjustment of your suspension, which is a system that connects your car to its wheels.
And when your alignment's off, you get uneven, premature tire wear, and we have a fix for that too.
If a pothole has bitten you where it hurts, come to Richlands for a professional evaluation by one of our ASE certified technicians.
And at the very least, we'll make sure you have the right amount of air pressure in your tires.
And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
Due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris give playoff reactions on the pod. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
I'm Libby Collins. This week, we talk with filmmaker Michael Jarr about a compelling documentary he's made, The Joshua Glover Story.
Joshua Glover had been arrested. Sherman Booth goes over to the jail and tries to find out if this is true. Then he gets on a horse and rides through the downtown streets of Milwaukee like Paul Revere, calling people to turn out and telling them that a man's liberty is at stake.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Thanks for joining me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And I'm so delighted to be joined in the studio by filmmaker Mai Huang and Sip and Purr Cafe owner and subject of the documentary 25 Cats from Qatar, Katie McHugh, and a kitty that's practically falling asleep in your lap, Nero, the ambassador and therapy cat that Katie has brought in. If you would like to see this handsome fella, or his eyes are open now that I've talked about him, text the word WATCH, WATCH, to the Siding Unlimited, WTMJ Talk, and text line 855-616-1620. So, Mai, in one sentence, how do you describe 25 Cats from Qatar?
It's a journey. It's a journey of cats 7,000 miles to find homes, and that's how I would describe it. It's we shot it in 4 rapid days over there. Katie had 4 days to select 25 cats based on their personality, so that was difficult. Watching her choose the final 25 that we're gonna fly. And
Katie, what's that criteria? How come because that's really hard. You can't bring every kitty who needs a home back. What is the criteria for bringing a kitty back to the U.S. for adoption?
It's very hard because when you see all the cats that you would love to take with you and making the choice to choose 25 is difficult. But at the end of the day, the goal is adoption. So we choose them based on their personalities, based how comfortable they would be at sip and purr with the folks coming in and, petting the cats. So really it's based on their personality and, the adoption criteria. And we always say the more we can help, the faster they get adopted, the more we can help. So that is the end goal. Yeah.
So what is the first trip well, I guess the real question is that we were talking earlier is, sure, it's neat that you're able to rescue kitties from internationally, but we have kitties here. What is the reason you would go to Qatar to bring, and other countries, to bring international cats to Milwaukee for adoption?
Right. That's a great question. So we work with Lakeland Animal Shelter, where we get the majority of our cats from. But being a flight attendant, I was made aware of the need and the crisis in these international countries that we rescue from. And being a flight attendant, I had to go see it for myself. And after I saw the situation firsthand, I just knew that I couldn't turn my back on the suffering, and I had to find a way to help.
Is there a big difference between animal welfare in America and in these other countries, Qatar and other countries you visited?
Absolutely. So adoption is just really not part of the culture in the countries that we help, the international countries that we help out. They don't have the rescuers. The rescuing falls to on the shoulders of a very, very small amount of folks. They don't have the community support. They don't have government support. They can't fundraise. So it really, really is a true crisis.
And truly a different world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. In more ways than one.
And stray kitties, yeah, they will tug on your heartstrings. How in the world do you meet and find out about rescue kitties in different parts of the world?
Honestly, social media. It all kind of started, kind of a long story, but a woman came into Sip and Purr back in 2018 and told us of the crisis and would we help? So we took a couple that came over to America. Would we help again? Sure. So we did. And then word just spread on social media. And so the rescuers in the movie, 25 Cats from Qatar, the majority of the rescuers I had never met in person. We had met via social media. So that was the first time not just meeting the cats, but also meeting the rescuers in person.
Well, as the filmmaker and director, you must have thought that was going to be a compelling part of the story.
Oh, definitely.
To see the humans interact as well for the first time.
And I've always been interested in cross-cultural stories. So just, having Katie, this, Midwesterner, going over to the Middle East, and just I knew that there would be such a contrast in personalities, contrast of landscape, everything. I just thought that this is just really fascinating to me, and just seeing them all work together to make this rescue mission happen. It's just really inspiring to me, and I hope other audiences will be not only educated but also entertained by this story.
I would say, is that really the goal, or what do you hope people take away after they watch this international adventure and all the logistics it takes to have 25 kitties and carriers coming back from Qatar?
I do want to spread the awareness about the problem, the cat population crisis there, but I also just want to also use it to make people see that we have a problem here too, and we can learn a lot from each other, I think, about how we do things. And I think there's a lot of disagreement over how do we tackle this problem amongst the cat community, but I think there's so much that I learned over there, and I hope that people here can take something from that. So it's not just a story about Qatar. It's really this is a global crisis, and it's happening here, and we're not yet at that point of no return that they are over there, I believe. So I'm hoping that this inspires people to step up and pitch in to help so that we don't get to that point.
And I love that it showcases the empathy that you find in people all over the planet, and that people from it highlights our similarities more than our differences when you see people from absolutely different languages working together. 25 Cats from Qatar. I still have more questions, and we will ask next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey there, Sandy Maxx from WTMJ, and there are some incredible career opportunities with my friends at Three Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman, and it's going to be a highlight of your career because, honestly, Three Pillars just got rated the top senior living community in Wisconsin a third year in a row from U.S. News and World Report, and it's a certified great place to work. And they're hiring caregivers with their assisted living and memory care communities. Full and part-time, day or evening shifts starting at $20 per hour, and you could get more based on experience and shifts. The best part, you'll make a difference in the lives of others every day at Three Pillars. If you're interested, go to threepillars.org and click on the Careers tab to learn more.
Why work with several sales reps that don't work for you, drinking their company's Kool-Aid, only able to sell what their company has to offer? You'll get biased opinions and probably not a very good deal. When it comes to local advertising, a lot of business owners do this. It takes a lot of time and will cost you more for your advertising than it has to. Let us work for you. We know all the rates for all media. This keeps everybody honest, and when you place the volume of advertising we do, it means you get great deals. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We'll make your ads potent, memorable, and effective. Whether it's radio, TV, billboards, or digital, our understanding of the market and long-standing relationships are unmatched. Anderson Smith represents a substantial amount of advertising billing, which will benefit you in getting much more for your ad dollar. Our compensation model is designed to make it affordable for businesses like yours to use us. And we hold on to our clients because what we do works, and they trust us. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Hey, the flowers are popping, the birds are chirping, there's blue in the sky. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I host Experience Wisconsin Saturdays at 1 o'clock, and spring is popping big time in our state. Won't you join us as we check out some of the people, places, and things that make Wisconsin so super special? On this week's show, going to be a good one. We head to the Northwoods and check in with Rhinelander, and we also visit Elkhorn. It's Experience Wisconsin Saturdays at 1, the whole state from east to west, north to south on WTMJ.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
From door to door, from the time the cat is rescued off the streets and the cat flies to America and comes through our adoption program, that cat has probably cost about $1,000. And the adoption fee to adopt that cat is $100. The payoff is just seeing the small amount of animals that we have helped. I mean, a couple hundred, which is like literally a drop in the ocean. But for the ones that I do help, like it's literally life-changing, not just for the cats, but for the people that adopt them and for the people that rescue them.
That is a quote from 25 Cats from Qatar. The documentary screening at the Milwaukee Film Festival, and it is, you just heard the voice of Katie McHugh. Hi, Katie. She's in the studio with me with her ambassador cat, Nero. Yes. But Katie is the owner of Sip and Purr Cat Cafe, the one that used to be right around the corner from the Oriental Theater, and we'll talk about the new one in just a second. But the film was created by Mai Huang, director, in the studio with me as well. And Mai, in the film, You've talked about kind of what excited you about covering this very unique story of Katie's international journey to bring home these cats on the streets and in crisis. But I thought it was important that there was also, quote, this is not a solution to animal welfare, but part of the solution, one step that people can do, and also to bring awareness of other methods. What are some other ways that pet welfare can be, or pet cat welfare and animals out on the street their lives can be improved or prevented from being on the street?
Well, I firstly do want to say that I definitely don't want the takeaway from the movie being that everyone should go to the Middle East and bring back cats. I think that Katie's very well equipped for that, I think because of her flight attendant background. So it's a lot of work, and I don't think most people will have the patience that she does for that. But definitely, like, fostering cats, definitely, like, we need more fosters. Like, I can find money to sponsor a flight for a cat to come over here, but I can't find someone who will open up their home for that cat, to let that cat decompress or help get it adopted. Sip and Purr is a great kind of solution where, the cats have a place to go when they get here and hopefully find a forever home. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm hoping people will, the takeaway is I hope that they can find something that they can do, even if it's small, to help cats, because really there's not enough support out there. And so that is why the population is exploding.
How can we see this film of this incredible journey and meet all these people around the world who are also taking part in pet rescue?
Well, Milwaukee has the unique opportunity to see the film on the big screen with a huge audience of cat lovers, and there's nothing like it. So I'm excited for our screening on Saturday at the Oriental. Seeing it with the cats that with the parents that ended up adopting these cats. So I think it's going to be a very powerful show because they're going to be seeing it for the first time, and we're going to have one of the rescuers from Qatar is actually coming all the way and watching it with us. So that's a rare opportunity. So I'm really excited about that. So there's a couple of screenings with the festival, and we also have a couple of screenings like an hour outside of Milwaukee as well. Since we're here, we're just trying to spread it as much as we can. We'll be at film festivals all year.
That is very exciting to have the rescuer here.
Mm-hmm.
Who's coming?
Her name is Valerie Moakes, and she is originally from Singapore, and she lives in Qatar, and she helps take care of a small TNR colony of cats, and she's in the film, so we're excited to have her.
25 cats from Qatar, Saturday, May 3rd at 3 at the Oriental Theater, and then again next Wednesday, May 7th at 4 at the Oriental Theater. How fun. And Katie, can't let you go without just a quick update. Tell us about the new location of Sip and Purr Cat Cafe.
Yes, we just opened yesterday on Brady Street. The new location has been so busy, folks. The outpouring of community support has been more than we could ever dreamed of. But yes, we're open every day but Mondays and Tuesdays. Those are our cat naps. So yeah, definitely come out and visit us. And maybe you'll see Nero at our new location as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Katie McHugh, star of 25 Cats from Qatar, with many, many other little four-legged stars.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You can see the Milwaukee Film Festival, and filmmaker Mai Huang, thank you so much for being here, and enjoy the Milwaukee Film Festival.
Thank you.
And now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Sean Brinda.
Thanks, Sandy. Lincoln Memorial Drive will close temporarily on Tuesday for the latest attempt to remove a deep thaw. Both north and southbound lanes will close between Lafayette Hill Road and East Water Tower Road from early morning to late afternoon. The North Point parking lot will also close. Milwaukee County Parks says the time frame of the closure is subject to change. The cost to remove the abandoned boat now reaches beyond the $100,000 mark. And filing a lawsuit over funding cuts to AmeriCorps. Wisconsin is one of 24 states suing the Trump administration over an end to grant funding for volunteer service programs. AmeriCorps programs in Wisconsin include tutoring, conservation, library services, and support for homeless youth. The cuts could end services at over 300 sites across the state. And Kohl's fires its new CEO, Ashley Buchanan, with cause. Buchanan is accused of violating company policies by directing the company to engage in vendor transactions that involved undisclosed conflicts of interest. Kohl's has appointed Michael Bender as interim CEO. That's effective immediately. Buchanan served in the CEO position for just 4 months. Take a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We got one incident on the road at I-41 94 south at Wisconsin Route 50. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Other than that, roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy with drizzle possible and a low of 43 degrees. Friday's going to be mostly cloudy with some slight chance of showers and a high of 53 degrees. Saturday's going to be mostly to partly cloudy with a high of 58 degrees. Sunday's going to be partly cloudy with some slight chance of showers and a high of 65 degrees. Monday's going to be partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 68 degrees. And, Monday will be partly cloudy with a high of 68 degrees. Right now, in Eau Claire, it's 55 degrees. In Palmyra, it's 52 degrees. And right now in Milwaukee, it's 51 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:33.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds, reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely, and I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. A great resource if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend. Visit Milwaukee has a lot of listings of all kinds. And You know, one of my favorite things to do this weekend for a limited time only is the Milwaukee Film Festival. And thanks again to Mai Huang, the director of 25 Cats from Qatar, and also to Katie McHugh, who is the owner of Sip and Purr Cat Cafe and truly did the international journey, and it's done it more than once, to have that adventure to help rescue cats. And there are over 300 international kitties who have been adopted here in Milwaukee, and their quest continues to help get pets adopted, working with Lakeland Cat Shelter and the new location of Sip and Purr. I know a lot of people have been anxiously awaiting. It is officially opened as of yesterday. Fresh news on Brady Street now, instead of around the corner from the Oriental Cafe there. 25 Cats from Qatar, just talking about it. You can catch up on the podcast if you want to. And I love that Mai Huang, the director, described it as, come to the Oriental Theater and be surrounded by cat lovers like you. You will be with your people Saturday, May 3rd at 3 at the Oriental Theater in the big theater in the Abley Cinema. That Saturday matinee for 25 Cats from Qatar. And then your last chance to see the film will be Wednesday, May 7th, an afternoon showing, 4 o'clock at the Oriental Theater as well. And I've been posting my daily picks for the film festival. Not that my taste is exactly your taste, but I can help you kind of hone down, because it can be overwhelming when you go to the website and it's like, whoa, that's a lot of films. Or if you pick up the brochure and the program that you see, it's just, it's a wealth of films, over 200, and ranging from feature length to short films for kids, the whole cinema huligante category, which is adventurous, bizarre films that you probably really can't see anywhere else, or not sure how you would discover them without being curated by the Milwaukee Film Festival. So on WTMJ.com, and I also posted on my social media on Facebook and Threads and Twitter and Instagram. All That Glitters was your last chance today to see it, but there's a film tonight called Sister Midnight, which is your last chance to see this film at 10:15 at the Downer. And it's a Indian film, and it's about a wild ride about a woman who is not interested in the housewife life. That is called Sister Midnight. And there are other films coming up this weekend. I want to make sure that you remember about Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood. If you remember, we had the filmmaker Sean Kafer, along with Michael Sandrew, who's the BID executive director of Brady Street, and it's called Portrait of a Neighborhood. And University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Sean Kafer is a faculty member there, and he worked with students. This was their film project for several semesters, creating this documentary film that goes back to the beginning of Brady Street in the 1800s and how it has evolved ethnically and different businesses all the way up to today. Glorioso's is one of the businesses that's interviewed different personalities that you would recognize from the neighborhood. It really is a great way to preserve history. And Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood, when I talked to Sean and Michael last month, their fingers were crossed that they would get chosen for the Milwaukee Film Festival, and they did. And you can see it tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 at the Oriental. It will also screen Sunday at 12:30 at the Downer, and then your last chance to see Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood on the big screen is next Wednesday at 8:30 at the Downer Theater. And you can always check my picks at WTMJ.com or just go to mkefilm.org. Enjoy browsing the full list of films and make your own picks. We're going to find out what's up at the Whammy Awards on Sunday, next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Save big money at Menards. Get your grass growing thick and green with Scott's Thicker Lawn Grass Seed Mix. Its 3-in-1 solution of grass seed, fertilizer, and soil improver is formulated to help your thinning lawn grow green and covers up to 1,200 square feet. Hurry into the Menards Garden Center to save big on Scott's Thicker Lawn Grass Seed. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey Milwaukee, it's Josh Albrecht here.
And I'm also Josh Albrecht. Join us every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. on 620 WTMJ for Joshin' Around Milwaukee.
We're diving into the best of what makes this city great. Local events, hidden gems, and of course, everything Milwaukee.
It's your inside look at what's happening around town, places to visit, people to meet, and stories you won't want to miss.
Catch us every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. right here on 620 WTMJ and find extended episodes and content on visitmilwaukee.org. Let's get Joshin' Around.
Two Joshes are better than one.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Colders, and the Memorial Day savings have arrived early at Colders. They're giving all of our valued listeners, like you, exclusive access to their Friends and Family pricing event. It's something they've never done before. Shop Colders Friends and Family pricing store-wide. Save 65% on furniture and mattresses, sofas, sectionals, dining tables, bedroom sets, mattresses, everything. I just shopped Colders, just got great deals, incredible customer service, and if you're shopping for appliances, take an extra 5% off. Extra 5% at Colders. You can shop all of your favorite appliance brands in-store or online. It's the Friends and Family pricing sale. Plus, they make it easy with 60 months financing. Exclusive savings won't last forever. Don't miss Colders Memorial Day Early Access Friends and Family sale. It ends Monday, May 5th. Shop at 4 convenient locations: West Dallas, Delafield, Oak Creek, Grafton. It's where I shop. Or browse online at Colders.com.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Colders.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
The sounds of a Whammy Hall of Famer Al Jarreau getting us into this next segment. Whammy stands for Wisconsin Area Music Industry. Whammy! And the Whammy Awards are coming up on Sunday at the Deco, a cool venue in West Dallas. And to tell us the importance of Whammy and the Hall of Fame inductees and the fun that's going to be had on Sunday is joining me in the studio is Whammy board member and so much more, Patrick Nettesheim.
And I'm definitely not a board Whammy member. Sandy, it's so good to be here.
Distinction.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. I really like how you sang Whammy.
It's like a whammy bar. Whammy is just a great acronym because it already resonates with music fans.
Yes, do you know what a whammy bar is? I have to ask you.
On a guitar.
Yes.
And you pull it back and forth to get the vibration that wow, wow,
Correct.
wow, wow.
It alters the tension on the strings, hence the pitch goes up and goes low. And you know who made the whammy bar really famous in rock and roll?
Is this a subjective answer?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guys, actually.
And you're a guitarist, right?
Yes.
Okay, I respect your opinion, Patrick. Who made the whammy bar famous?
I'd say Jimi Hendrix was first. You know, you got Jeff Beck, but then was the resurgence of the whammy bar, a Renaissance man known as Eddie Van Halen.
There you go. Why do you think it's called the whammy bar?
I think that the Obsidian bar was already taken, so I don't know.
It's not nearly as catchy. Well, speaking of Whammy, Wisconsin Area Music Industry, what is the organization?
Well, first of all, the organization has been around for 45 years, you know, and this is the 45th Whammy Awards show.
Like a 45 record.
You got it.
Leaning all the way into the music references.
Yeah, wait till you see some of these awards with that reference in mind. They're beautiful. So Whammy was really established to honor, you know, local musicians. When we say local, there's local musicians everywhere, but in this case, it's Wisconsin area musicians, hence the wham part. The I is the industry that we know as the music industry. It is a very, very difficult industry to make it in. And as with any arts, it's usually if you're a superstar, that's awesome. You are a great person, adored by many. However, if you're a local musician, well, you probably don't have a job. Maybe you have a car. I don't know.
Or you have a few jobs, so that way you can do your music.
Exactly.
I think that's the reality of it's similar to broadcasting, where it's like, oh, you've got your top stars, and then the rest,
the rest
making
of us.
making the rarefied air. But
we are the rest of us, and that's what Whammy is mainly about: providing opportunity for and building this community, this networking community. So the writers, the singer-songwriters, but even the cover artists that play this music that's been written get they get the opportunities to perform. Hopefully they get paid for aforementioned performances. And some of the love that they deserve. And Whammy is Grammy adjacent, so that's probably why Whammy was chosen.
And how did Whammy start in 1980?
There was this dude that once upon a time, and the name slips me, but he had a club in town. This is what's going to happen to me someday. The things I founded, which hopefully we can talk about. We'll go on.
We will.
I wonder who that guy was that started that. Yeah.
But that person left a legacy, and they obviously saw the importance in the 80s of musicians.
They did.
The importance of having music as part of our culture and as part of our economy.
Yeah, and it was started for the reasons that I mentioned, is to help create more opportunities for area musicians to play, which at that time there was a lot of opportunity, because this in 1980, 18 was the drinking age in Wisconsin, and that actually has a lot to do with it, because a lot of young people right out of high school were going out exploring music, and they wanted to see live music. There were probably some DJs at the time, but it wasn't that big of a movement by any stretch of the imagination. Then comes 1983, which is the last year for that drinking age to be 18, and all of these bars around universities and colleges that hosted live music, that scene began to dry up, and that moved in more into the DJ realm, because you were then looking at people who were 21 and older, and you were losing out on 3 years of following. And the reason I'm mentioning that, you can tell just about anybody's age by looking at their record collection, because it's sometime between, maybe junior high and college. That's where the bulk
those
of it
formative
is.
years, that's when you're discovering your identity. Yeah.
And so now what we're seeing is a resurgence, a renaissance of sorts, where there's more places hosting live music again. And I think, millennials and now Gen Z, as they're coming up, are starting to embrace the fact that live is different. It's like you can go to the movies, but you go to a play, and it's a totally different vibe.
It's just in the moment, yeah.
It is in the moment. And we love live, don't we, Sandy?
Yes, we do. And Sunday, celebrating with the Whammy Awards. What's in store? Because it's not exclusive to just musicians. Anybody can come celebrate the Whammies.
Well, that's what it is. It's open to the public, because it's speaking of boredom, it's a very boring life as a singer-songwriter if you don't have folks that really appreciate it outside of other musicians. It'd be a very limited audience then. So we need those who love music and those who create it showing up and helping support that. And if you love live music, man, you're going to see the best that Wisconsin has to offer in each of these groups, playing a couple songs.
We're going to find out some of the performers that will be performing at the Deco in West Allis for the Whammy Awards on Sunday with Patrick Nettesheim and Whammies. Stay with us on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything! Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center,
and you've got yourself a rock-solid date.
the next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance,
Or tires, brakes, and suspension service.
book your date at richlawns.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
Always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchkey with Rich Lawns, and you're due for a date.
Clever.
Rich Lawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days, because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an Accunet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With Accunet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, "no appraisal required." That's right, Accunet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at Accunet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Just released by Vatican News, the conclave to elect a new pope will begin on May 7th.
Eric Bilstad.
Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan could face 6 years in prison.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
It's on northbound 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue. We got that road work going on through there.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Whammy Hall of Famer Steve Miller. To get us back into our Whammy Awards conversation, Patrick Nettesheim, you remember you've seen at Summerfest at the Guitars for Vets booth. I feel like that's where everybody sees you and you converge. And then you're also part of a new.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning it. I do have to mention, do you know who Steve Miller's guitar instructor was?
Well, Les Paul was his godfather.
There you go.
There we go.
Showed him how to play, too. There you go. So the legend has it. So I left Guitars for Vets back in September. I love Guitars for Vets. The mission is outstanding, but I needed to do more personally for growth and to support humanity, as we say now in our organization, which is called Music, the number 6, the letter S, which is like success, but fits on the license plate. Music success, building music-inspired communities that support humanity. We give free guitars, bass guitars, drums, keyboards, and microphones, and the lessons associated with them to veterans, like Guitars for Vets, but also to first responders now, firefighters, law enforcement, and medical professionals, and frankly, anybody in the community that's struggling with the challenges of PTSD, all are welcome.
Patrick Nettesheim doing good with music, and you're also on the Whammy Board, Wisconsin Area Music Industry. And the reason you're here is to extend a personal invitation to everyone for the Whammy Awards on Sunday in West Ellis at a beautiful venue called the Deco. This is going to be my first time inside the Deco. Multi-levels, kind of a 1920s vibe and feel. So you're leaning into the 1920s theme, right?
Oh, our Deco is awesome, and that's what that is a play on. We got a VIP room there called the Gatsby Room, and rumor had it, but you were setting me straight. You were not coming as Daisy.
I will not be Daisy. No, I am thrilled to be the MC, but I'm more. I will be flapper-ish, and I have a 1920s fringy dress, but I look like more that somebody would have been at Gatsby's party, not somebody who would have dated Gatsby. But I'm going to lean all the way into it. But tell us some of the performers. How many performers on Sunday? Well,
there's going to be 10 different bands playing. There's going to be more than 30 awards presented. We're talking about 600 plus music industry people on multiple levels. This place is outstanding. If you cannot make the award show, please visit the Deco, which is on Greenfield. And I'm looking at my cheat sheet here. And yes.
I'm just laughing that you're looking at the cheat sheet.
Yes.
We got to wrap up in about 30 seconds or so here. But no, it's all good. The Deco in West Allis, anybody can go. Whammy.org to get tickets?
You are correct, and I believe you can purchase them there. And I also have to mention it's the inaugural Lifetime Achievement Award we'll be giving away to Claire Sardina. Claire is one half of the Lightning and Thunder duo, and after a lifetime of performing on Summerfest stages with the likes of Pearl Jam, the State Fair, and many local venues, Claire is accepting this prestigious award, performing her tribute to Patsy Cline at the Whammy Awards.
It's a big, big deal because Lightning and Thunder are going to be on the big screen very soon with a tribute film in that fashion. So it's a big deal. So come and celebrate with Claire Sardina and a bunch of winners and celebrating Wisconsin music talent at the Whammy Awards Sunday.
Thank you so much, Sandy, and I hope to see you soon. There's so much more we could talk about.
I know. Thank you, Patrick Nettesheim, and thank you for listening to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management